Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be giving a quick demo to showcase the power of Power BI. Let's get started. Step 1. If you don't have Power BI installed on your machine already, go onto your favorite browser and type Power BI Desktop Download. Click on one of the first links, and over here we have the option to download Power BI Desktop. Click Open Microsoft Store, which opens a window over here, and although I have this software downloaded on my computer, you can click Get to get the software from here. So when you first open Power BI Desktop, this is what the screen should look like. Power BI Desktop is an incredible business intelligence tool that can be used for a wide variety of applications. Currently, I'm only going to be showing how to get data from a web source by clicking on Get Data and clicking on Import Data from a web page. When this pop-up opens over here, we can enter the URL to get data directly from a website. And the dataset that I choose for this application is going to be none other than a cricket dataset. So let's go for IPL Cricket 2022, and over here we see, actually let's just make it IPL Cricket. That way we go to the Wikipedia page and we should be able to see Indian Premier League, all of the matches, and pretty much the standings from the different years. As we can see, there are a whole bunch of tables over here, and we can select any table from this source without actually going into any code. So let's say we go for the IPL season results table right here. This table, as we can see, has a bunch of columns. There are different values, and as expected, it will require a little bit of data cleaning and data transformations. So we just copy this link from here, go back to Power BI and paste the URL, hit OK, and wait for the information to load. Depending on your internet connection, it should take anywhere between 10 to 45 seconds, and you should see Power BI Desktop connecting to that web source and loading all of the tables in a very short period of time. So we have 49 HTML tables over here and 2 text tables. I think this is the table that we're looking at, and yeah, so this says IPL season results. We have two options to either load data directly or to transform data before loading. Clicking on transform data will open a window called Power Query Editor, which is where the magic happens. So this is what the Power Query Editor window looks like when we first start looking at our loaded dataset from Wikipedia's website. We have 9 columns over here. Column 2 is almost empty. Column 5 is almost empty. And actually, column 1 has the word details in pretty much every single row from row 3 onwards. Clearly, we need to do some work on this dataset. Let's begin by firstly just selecting the columns that we're going to be using. We'll be using season over here, and to select multiple columns at once, I'll hold Control. So column 3 is final, which tells the winners. We'll be using that, and let's say we choose winning margin as well. If we need these 3 columns and we need to get rid of the other columns, I'll just right click, remove other columns. This adds a step on this applied steps section, and if I want to go back and make any changes, I can very easily do that, as can be seen over here. Moving on, row 1 and 2 do not contain the details that we need for this dataset. So we'll go remove rows, remove top rows, and let's say if I hit 2 over here, perfect. So now we got rid of the rows that do not have the information that we need. Let's look at column 1 over here, which has 2008 details, 2009 details. We do not need the word details, and we only need the years. So if you right click and we go at replace values. Value to find is going to be the word details, and we'll keep this blank because we're not replacing this with anything. We press OK. Perfect. And the word details has disappeared from this column. Similarly, over here we have the word scorecard in pretty much every single row, and we do not need that. We'll follow the exact same steps. Replace values, scorecard with blank, and that has been replaced. Actually, I realized there is also a bracket which is not required, so we can enter that to be replaced with a blank value, which gets rid of the brackets as well. Looking at column 2, we have the name of the team along with 54, I believe is, I'm not quite sure what this number represents over here in the data, but that's the total. This is the number of wickets, and considering it's T20, this is the amount of overs it took. So what we'll do, okay, this is maybe the chasing team's target. What we'll do is we'll get rid of anything after this bracket over here. Right click, replace. Well, actually we can do that, or we could split columns as well. So let's try splitting columns. We'll go split columns by delimiter, and we'll use this square bracket as the delimiter. Press OK, which splits our columns. Column 3 has now been split into column 3.1 and column 3.2. We do not need the values in column 3.2. We can simply right click and hit remove to remove this entire column. Comparing from when we first started, the final dataset looks very clean and organized and has the details that we need. We can change and rename the column names for the year, second column being the winning team, and the third one indicating the result. So to look at these columns, we can make out like 2015 Mumbai Indians won by 41 runs. During this transformation, if we wanted to, let's say, add another column, but we forgot to do that, it's really easy because Power BI allows us to go into the applied steps, and let's say over here when we removed columns, clicking on this little gear icon gives us the ability to choose another column if we wanted to add that. And I'll just demonstrate that. Let's say if we go into player of the series, which is column 9. So if I click here and I add column 9, eventually over here in my final section, I will see player of the series as well, and I can simply rename that to player of the series. Once we're done with our Power Query editor, we can hit close and apply to apply these changes to our dataset. Report view lets us build visuals from our data. We can simply drag fields or select from the fields pane, and we can start building visuals. This is a very simple table which shows the dataset from the year 2008 to 2022. Now let's say we wanted to visualize to see which team won the highest number of times in the last 14 years. We can do that simply by changing this table visual to, let's go for a clustered bar chart. We'll make some changes by deleting the result over here, bringing the year to the x-axis and the winning team to the y-axis. So by a few clicks and a very simple UI, we can see that Mumbai Indians won 5 out of the overall IPL seasons since the year 2008. This is the power of Power BI in 10 minutes.